Hello, Internet. It's another week
Hello.
of Amnesia.
What?
That joke never gets old.
Oh, it got old the first time, but that's not stopping me.
I forgot that it got old.
Oh, it happens. It won't budge. So, previously in Amnesia, I got this little door open, got a key to the wine cellar,
I don't like that
and
vision blurry.
oh, that's just me going insane
Oh,
from the darkness.
oh, like you do.
Slowly descending. Yeah, about to go get drunk. What'd you watch from 2010, Aaron?
Well, we are slowly descending into films from 2010. This week, I watched a favorite of mine, Richie. I watched Birdemic: Shock and Terror.
Oh, I
Have
feel like I've never seen it. I saw the trailer, and I've heard you talk about it many times.
it is most certainly a favorite of mine, a favorite of mine to talk about. It is what I would call well-tread territory in terms of people talking about it in terms of a bad movie. I'll say now, if you want any further info, you can listen to How Did This Get Made, did a podcast about it, and had one of the stars on, and so she gives a little bit of insight into what the production was like.
Fantastic.
But
So if you like this episode, go check their episode out.
yes, but to begin with James Wynn.
A winner indeed.
The mastermind behind Birdemic: Shock and Terror. So as far as I could see, he works or worked for
What the fuck?
Rutrow. He works or worked for a tech startup, this facial recognition software company called. Did I write that down? I didn't write down the name of it. It doesn't really matter. It's interesting because the main, I guess the main character of the movie, Rod, is a guy that started out as a software engineer and then turned into a salesman. So I wonder if that is either autobiographical or like him dreaming, like his dream job is being a software salesman.
Could be.
I don't know. Yeah, this is a creepy room.
Yeah, I just saw like a zombie over there on the other side of the room, and it kind of spooked me a little bit. Not gonna lie, if you weren't on the call, I would have screamed.
So, oh, like for anyone out there who likes bad movies at all or wants to know if you do like this kind of bad movie, this is an excellent place to start because it is so bad, but it is so eminently watchable, and it just has
Fucking spooky dookie.
great.
Oh, I want my chair.
Just keep that chair on you. This guy Alan Baugh stars as Rod, and I was thinking, like, this guy's performance just defies everything. I don't think he would, like, if you made an AI that was at the level of Rod in this movie, he would not pass the Turing test. You'd be like, okay, like, come back when you've got a proper human in there. It is so bizarre, his performance in this. And like maybe because of that, I was thinking the other star, Whitney Moore, but oh, okay, who plays Natalie?
Just loading screen.
Okay.
Why am I shaking? Oh God.
That, okay.
Well, better walk into more of it, right?
The other star who plays Natalie seems like, I don't know if her performance is good or if she just like seems like a human being next to what is hurting you here?
I jumped off the second floor.
Oh, okay, that'll do it. Like she seems good in comparison. Like nobody's winning any Oscars in this film. And if you're wondering why in a movie about that's called Birdemic, like why I would be just like talking about a software salesman and Natalie is a supermodel who at the beginning of the movie she's taking glamour shots at a 1-hour photo and then gets a call to say that she's been offered to be the Victoria's Secret cover model.
Wow.
So big jump. The reason I start with them is that the movie starts with the building of a relationship between these two idiots for 47 minutes.
Wait, no, repeat that. 47 minutes until what?
47 minutes until the titular Birdemic occurs. It's a lot of build up. Them like going on dates and well Rod. Oh Rod.
Oh no.
Rod.
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't have any Tinder boxes.
There's this amazing scene in the pre-Birdemic stages of the movie where Rod is on the phone making a sale, and like right at the end he's like, okay, what can I do to get your sale? It's like, okay, I'll take 50% off. Sounds great. All right. And then he talks to his friend afterwards. He's like, I just made the biggest sale of my life, $1 million.
Wow, he could have had $2 million.
He just lost the company to $1 million. He would be.
That's a good way to spin it, though. I mean, honestly.
He'd be fired. It's so bizarre, man. But yeah, it's just, it takes place in. The room didn't like that.
Oh.
It's pretty dark.
It's kind of spooky.
Birdemic takes place in this town called Half Moon Bay, and so a lot of it they show like the. I don't like that sound. I don't like that sound one bit.
My head is pounding and my hands are shaky.
They show like a lot of like actual businesses that they filmed at. So when they have the establishing shot, like they'll have a very long shot of the sign of the place or like the interior and stuff like that. Like they have this Vietnamese restaurant that they go to, and they show this mural on the wall for 24 seconds. They're just panning across this thing.
They did it for the community.
I have to imagine it was like because like they just talked to these places and were like, okay, like let's if you film here, at least like show our business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some product placement,
some advertising
in a way.
There. Yeah. The movie by
this episode is brought to you by Pepsi, by the way.
This movie is brought to you by Damian Carter's Hanging Out With My Family, a song that is featured pretty much in its entirety in this movie. When they go to this bar, Natalie and Rod are dancing as Damian Carter is singing. They're like the only people in there just like getting jiggy with it, as the kids said in 1987. They made this movie for $10,000 over the course of 7 months. They filmed it.
That's
a long time.
Yeah.
Like the first,
and not a lot of money.
No, that's, well, yeah. I guess they were doing it kind of on like weekends because James still had his day job. I'm sure after Birdemic he still has his day job. Like I was looking at the first Avengers movie and that took 5 months to shoot, and this one took 7.
Wow, that's absurd.
Pretty amazing. Like, just go on YouTube if you have not seen scenes from this film and just look at the trailer. I know you have, Richie, but
I'll do it again.
You have to see what the birds look like once they show up. Like they're like
glorious,
dive bombing,
magnificent.
They're dive bombing gas stations and like making these like airplane noises.
Oh no!
And exploding for some reason.
That's just part of the Birdemic, right?
It's so beautiful.
I had a lantern this whole time.
Oh, that would have been nice to know. Oh, what was that?
I don't know.
Oh God. It looks like a good place to go in.
My mind is telling me no.
But my body.
Well, let me grab a barrel. Let's play some Donkey Kong.
Your safety barrel. It's so funny.
Sounds spooky as fuck.
This movie has a whole. Oh.
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst.
It's bad for your health, bro.
My God, Wilhelm, do something!
Is that a cell phone?
Except we're not getting out of here.
Let's finish what he has to say, and then I'll read that.
Piece of shit, let us out of here!
Alexander's such a piece of shit. Okay. Wilhelm's last words. Now it's time for reading with Richie. Wilhelm's last words. My name is Wilhelm, House of Jarek. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the Castle Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed knight of the order could want from me and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted it wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar. Down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work.
Down to the wine cellar.
I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolical ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... No longer what, Wilhelm? Okay, well...
That was pretty much like my experience watching The Sorcerer's Apprentice. A lot of blood pouring out of my eyes.
You had to drink yourself through it with wine?
Basically. Birdemic Shock and Terror has this very
Christ on a cracker.
very environmentalist message to it. Apparently James Wynn had watched An Inconvenient Truth and was really inspired by it. And then he made this movie.
So, no Al Gore, no Birdemic.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al. Oh man. So basically the movie is them on this like road trip on the run from the birds, and there are like people that come along with them at certain times. But most of them die besides these two children. So they're left with two other people's children by the end of the film. But they run into this cast of characters along the way, one of which being a scientist who is like, I don't really care about the birdemic, I'm more concerned about the bird flu. These birds died from the bird flu, and global warming gave them bird flu.
It's a lot of bird flu.
Which, I don't...
Oh,
God. God. That's terrifying.
Oh, it didn't see me.
I couldn't really, I know a little bit about science, but I couldn't find any direct connections between global warming and the bird flu. He did go on to talk about like global warming affecting like ocean temperatures and then affecting krill populations, thus affecting the birds' diets, which I buy, but I don't know A, what that has to do with bird flu, and B, what that has to do with them becoming psychotic killers.
I feel like maybe bird flu would just be like mad bird disease in a way.
Maybe that's what they're getting at. It like this. I mean, this movie has. This movie is so unskillfully made that it's hard to like even want certain like logical leaps like that. But like it has. Because it has an environmentalist message, I want it to make sense because that's something that I'm passionate about myself. And so, there we go. We got some light. And so,
oh Jesus,
when characters are just like trying to deliver a message in this stupid movie and they're not making any sense, it's still a little frustrating.
Oh my gosh.
I'll skip to the end here because a lot of this you just have to experience. It's such a beautiful, horrible mess of a movie, and I love it so much. But at the end, there are eagles and vultures that are attacking them. our main characters, Rod and Natalie, and some random children that we just love so much. And then
Strangers' children.
And then doves show up. And then the birds stop attacking and they fly away.
That's how it ends?
That's how the movie ends. And I don't know why. Apparently in an interview, James says that this is because the birds decide to give people a chance. Like, give people a chance to change their polluting ways. Like, the birds are angry. The birds are angry about global warming. And so they attack people in their cars, and they attack gas stations and things like that. Oh, did I mention what Rod's car is, by the way?
No, you did not.
In the beginning of the movie, there are a lot of driving scenes in this movie. In the beginning of the movie, he's driving a Mustang, and it's so frustrating because the characters don't learn anything at all.
But the birds decide to give him another chance
exactly.
anyways.
The characters don't change. At the beginning of the movie, he's driving a Mustang, but in this weird universe of the movie, it's a hybrid Mustang, which apparently is a thing now. So this movie is very prescient. It's a hybrid Mustang that gets 100 miles per gallon, which actually is accurate to the MPG of the current like Mustang Mach-E thing.
Do you think they were perhaps influenced by the film?
I think so. I think they saw Birdemic and they're like, you know what? That's what we got to aspire to. James really inspired us here.
He's a visionary.
He is, you know, I think I underestimated it. It's making waves in the tech world. But like in the beginning of the movie, this guy is driving his hybrid car. He's like buying solar panels. He starts up a green tech company. Like he learns this stuff within the first like 47-minute portion of the movie where there aren't any bird attacks. Like it should have been the case that he was driving this Mustang, which the actual car he was driving was horrible for the environment, and like he doesn't care. And then like through the Birdemic, he learns, oh, I've got to like care about what I'm putting into the environment to because the birds will attack me if I don't have solar panels.
Bullied into going green. Whatever works, right?
It at least makes more like you know, story sense to me, much more than the like reverse of that happens, because throughout the movie he stops driving this hybrid thing, and then they're driving this like big clunky old 90s van that is like definitely like 12 miles per gallon on a good day. It's 0 to 60 sometimes. But you know what? I do really appreciate this movie because it's one of those. I know it doesn't sound like it from a movie called Birdemic, or if you see like the effects in it, it looks like a Sharknado type thing where it's not sincere. It's just like a tongue-in-cheek type thing. But this movie actually isn't that, if you believe it.
I believe it. I believe that they actually were trying to make a good movie. This is like, it sounds like The Room in a lot of ways.
And it is up to the very like beautifully, just the spectacular failure that The Room is. This is too. And actually, especially after having seen the sequel to Birdemic, and there is a sequel to Birdemic. After seeing that, I am thoroughly convinced that Birdemic 1 was a legitimate passion project, and he wanted it to be a good movie. Birdemic 2 is an absolute dumpster fire. Like, don't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. It is not worth your time.
Wow.
Birdemic Shock and Terror is beautiful. It's wonderful. It's sumptuous. It's a spectacular failure. Like I said, it's so good. And I'm not gonna give it a rating. Even even our 69 cats rating, I don't think there's really a point in giving this movie a rating, because it's so outside of what other films are.
It transcends cats.
It's just birds. It's just a bunch of birds. Just put a bunch of birds on screen. That's what it is, man.
Yeah, I think you've inspired me to check it out.
It's I think I watched it on Prime. If you have Prime Video and wanna give your money to Jeff Bezos and destroy the environment.
Hell, Bezos.
I don't know. It is on there. And yeah, if you can find a way to watch it, anybody at home and anybody who's Richie, anyone who has not seen this thing, please see it and bring some joy into your life.
You have not lived until you've seen Birdemic.
It's so good.
Oh.
One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things,
Did I read this already?
I don't think so, maybe.
I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return.
Okay.
Anyway, on that note, this has been what's our show called? Game and Watch. This has been Game and Watch.
It sure has.
I just had a little amnesia moment.
It's very acceptable. It's appropriate.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week for more forgetful goodness and more.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a little bit farther.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe I'll even shit my pants. Who knows?
Hey, we gotta get the face cam going.
Yeah, for real. You gotta see my reactions when crazy spooky monsters come out of the corners.
All right.
Yeah. It's been
Yeah.
swell. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
All right, saving and exiting.